Well, good evening, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this May the 20th, 2025. I hope everybody had a great Tuesday out there so far. Everybody has a great Tuesday evening. I hope everybody continues to stay safe and well, and also enjoy the weather because the only weather you got. Okay, in tonight's video, we're going to be taking a look at this storm system here, bringing more severe weather to portions of Louisiana, all the way into portions of Kentucky and also Tennessee, portions of Indiana region as well. Also more activity over portions of North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, and also into Michigan. You've got the area of low pressure still spinning up here around the Minnesota region, bringing and continue to push on off to the east northeast. You can see a little bit of scattered activity over Wyoming and also into Montana. Another system here will be moving offshore later on. Should be coming in on your Wednesday. You can see more scattered activity in the Caribbean. in the East Pacific. This system right here, you can see, has about a 20% chance of development. We'll show you where it is in the at the end of the video in the tropical weather outlook for the for this system here. The Eastern Pacific is pretty. The Central Tropical Atlantic is pretty quiet. You can see some scattered activity there as well. Also South America, Central America, and also the North Atlantic towards Newfoundland and also I can't get up. St. John's Island. There we go, finally. But anyway, pretty quiet conditions west of there as well. Alright, if you have not subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe. Also like these videos, share these videos, and let's continue to get the show on the road here, folks. Alright, you can see here we got some shower activity from Maine to Rhode Island to Pennsylvania to New York State to Lake Huron to Michigan to Wisconsin to Indiana, Illinois to Minnesota through the Dakotas, Montana to Iowa and Illinois region. More shower activity over portion of Washington, Oregon State. Thunderstorms and showers from Delaware to D.C. to Virginia to Ohio to Kentucky to North Carolina to Georgia to Florida, all the way down into the northern Gulf, southern Texas, also northern Mexico. More thunderstorms and showers from Ohio to Kentucky to Tennessee to Missouri to all the way to Nebraska, southwestern South Dakota, and southeastern Wyoming. Alright, got a little bit of heavy rain and flash flooding over portions of West Virginia and Pennsylvania. Mixed precipitation up here in portions of South and North Dakota, also in Wyoming, Washington, Oregon State, and Idaho region, and right along the Canadian-U.S. border as well. Otherwise, expect dry high pressure to remain in charge of your local forecast area for your Wednesday. Can't get it out there, but we finally did. Alright, anyway, here's a look at your Thursday forecast. You can see we got some shower activity from New Brunswick to portions of Newfoundland, the Atlantic coastal waters, from Maine to New Jersey, Pennsylvania to Michigan, Lake Huron, Lake Superior. Also down to portions of Ohio, Indiana, portions of Illinois and Kentucky. Shower activity from portions of South Dakota to Minnesota to Iowa to Washington and Oregon states as well. Thunderstorms and showers from Montana to North and South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Colorado, Wyoming, from Texas, northern Mexico, and Oklahoma, also in Arkansas, also along the Gulf Coast, into Florida, Florida Keys, then again from Tennessee to South Carolina, all the way in the Atlantic coastal waters, through North Carolina to West Virginia and Ohio and Kentucky regions as well. Even got some mixed precipitation portions of Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, and Washington and Oregon states as well. Otherwise, expect dry high pressure to remain in charge of your local forecast area for your Thursday. Alright, let's move on to the current watch and warning advisory map with your location across the nation. Alright, you can see we got some frost advisories over here in portions of Washington State, down in Idaho. We got one county with wind advisory, special weather statements over central California, southwestern California, around Los Angeles area there. You got some heat advisories there as well. Some air quality alerts down in portions of southeast Texas. Got some special weather statements up here in Michigan. Also, not Michigan, Wisconsin. Excuse me. Also, we got some activity up here in portions of Minnesota. Also, we got some activity. This is flood watches for Pennsylvania, portion of West Virginia, and also in the Kentucky. A little bit in Virginia mountains as well. Even got some tornado watches for Indiana, Illinois, down in Kentucky, Tennessee, North Georgia, northern Alabama, also in the portions of Mississippi and portions of Louisiana. You got a severe thunderstorm watch there as well. We got tornado warnings here in red from Mississippi to the portion of Alabama, in the portions of Tennessee, even up here in portion of Indiana. Good thunderstorm warnings there as well. You've got some flood advisories there also, some flood warnings in effect for Missouri and the portions of Oklahoma to Arkansas to Mississippi to Louisiana, East Texas, South Carolina, and one over here in portions of North Carolina as well, and one area in Georgia. Alright, we got the small craft advisory, gale warning from the coast of Maine all the way down to the outer banks of North Carolina. Then again from portions of Southern California to Washington State, the Hawaii and Chain Island looks good. So one area with small craft advisory in the south side of the Hawaii and Chain Island, and also around the Alaska region as well. Alright, let's move on to the Storm Prediction Center outlook here. It should be coming up here, and it should look something like this. Alright, you can see we got a little marginal rift right along the Canadian-U.S. border. Then we got general thunderstorm from Glasgow to McCook to Memphis and Jackson, around Corpus Christi to Brownsville to southwestern areas of Texas, from New Orleans to Columbia, South Carolina to Charlotte, North Carolina, up to Cleveland, Ohio to Washington, D.C., also down to Orlando to Miami and Fort Myers, Florida, and Tampa region as well. Another marginal risk from Springfield, Missouri, down just west of Memphis, just north of Little Rock, and southeastern areas of Kansas and northeastern areas of Oklahoma. Then again from Tallahassee to Savannah to Charleston to Wilmington to Raleigh to Roanoke, all the way up to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, marginal risk. Tornado probability is going to look like this, just pretty much up here in North Carolina, Virginia. Also again up here in the portion of West Virginia, and also in the portion of Pennsylvania and eastern Ohio. Alright, damage and winds look like this. 5% from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to Jacksonville and Tallahassee, Florida. Alright, large hail looks like this, pretty much around Springfield and northern Arkansas, up here around Pittsburgh, around the Raleigh area of North Carolina. Large hail. That's pretty much it there. Alright, let's move on to day number 3. And it's going to look something like this, folks. Alrighty, here we go. Alright, you can see we just pretty much general thunderstorm from Billings down to Fort Stockton to San Antonio to Memphis, Jackson, Columbia, Charlotte to Wilmington, up to New York State. Also from Orlando down to Miami, Florida, Florida Keys. Just general thunderstorm. Here's a marginal risk over Abilene to Wichita Falls and Fort Steele and surrounding areas. Alright, probability looks like this. 5% in that vicinity. Alright, here's a look at the tropical weather for that system I showed you on the satellite loop imagery as well. And it's going to look something like this. Here it is right here. It has about a 20% chance of development over the next 7 days. But right now, over the next 48 hours, nothing in the Eastern Pacific. But this system here could be the first tropical cyclone of the Eastern Pacific. So we'll continue to monitor that and see what happens. Let's take a look at the... Let's see if we can... let's see. Right now, here is the tropical Atlantic. Tropical cyclone activity is not expected during the next 7 days. So, pretty much that takes care of that. So, but anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed the video. But make sure you subscribe if you have not already. Like these videos, share these videos. We'll catch you back in the next one. So have a wonderful Tuesday evening, folks. Take care and also enjoy the weather, because the only weather you got.